What is up? Welcome to the second session of vectors. So in this video we'll look at how you can present a vector, or simply how we can write the notation of different various of vectors. So what I have here is that vector representation. How can you represent a vector? So a vector can be represented in the following forms. Okay, the first one is that vectors, you can present vectors using capital letters and then at endpoints. Okay, so what you can see is that so at endpoints you can use that kind of a representation where you say A, B, and then the arrow depending on which direction you are referring to. So remember, the key concept in understanding vector is that a vector is a directed line segment. Okay, a directed line segment, meaning that a vector has both magnitude, okay, the size of that line, okay, and also in which direction is a line pointing to, or where are we moving to. Okay, am I going upward, am I going maybe sideways, and negative, positive, and just like that. Okay, so what I want you to understand and get the key concept mostly is that which is going to be applicable, in the coming session of the videos. Ensure that put in our mind that the vector has got a direction. Okay, so the vector can be in positive direction or in negative direction, and then also a vector can have a size, okay, like a magnitude. Okay, the magnitude, the size of something. Okay, so let us also understand that vectors can have a magnitude as well as also the direction. Okay, so now, so this is the number one ways in which you can represent vectors, like A, B. So if I want now to write the actual notation with A, B, and then now you put the forward arrow on top of them. Okay, so whenever you are representing vectors using capital letters, make sure you put the arrow on top of the letters so that we know where are we starting from and where are we ending at. Okay, so we are starting from A and then we are ending at B. Okay, so that's how we can know where we're starting from and where we are ending at. Also, so make sure that we get that concept. Okay, so you can also have this one. So the direction is coming from P going to Q. So we write. Okay, so that's how we can now write the notation for the vector that are in capital letters. Okay, so don't forget to put the forward arrow when we are using capital letters and vectors in capital letters. Okay, so please make sure we understand that. Okay, and then we can also represent vectors. We can also represent vectors using small letters. So now, whenever you're using vectors, whenever you're using small letters, okay, we underline each of the small letters that is attached to a vector. Okay, so make sure that when you're using the vectors in form of small letters, okay, let us ensure that we underline. Okay, we just do an underline of that particular letter that we are looking at. Okay, so we can see that it's going in this direction, and this is a small letter P. Okay, small letter P, and then also this one is going down. Okay, so this can be any kind of vector, but the key concept is that whenever we are using small letters, we underline them. Okay, so that's the number one key concept about vector notation or vector representation. So we have talked about using capital letters. You put the forward arrow on top of the letters. Using small letters, you underline each of the letter that is referred to as a vector. Okay, so let's continue for the last vector notation or representation. Okay, so now welcome to the third part of vector representation now. So what you're supposed to understand is that vector can also be represented in the form that we are saying, or we are calling component form, okay, which is also known as column vectors, okay. So I want you to understand that we can also represent vectors in component form, which is also called a column vector. So like the column, okay, so like the column, like a column, okay, and then something like this, okay. So if some of you have done matrices, I'm sure you are able to understand now what we mean by a column, okay. So under matrices, we've got something like rows, columns and so on. So it's the same idea that we're trying to also, just talk about here, okay. So don't forget that we are just talking about, a columns, okay, something like a vertical or y-axis, kind of the concept, okay. So now, in column form or in component form, what I'm supposed to understand is that I can have maybe a value A on top and then another value B at the bottom, and then where just that value A, which can be anything, means horizontal movement. So when you think about what I said in the first video, such that we are talking about vectors being represented on a graph paper. So on a graph paper you can have x-axis, which is also called the horizontal movement. So this value is a value that can be found in the x-axis or horizontal movement, okay, or just horizontal kind of region. And then also B, that's a vertical movement, which is just y-axis. If we start now showing vectors on a graph paper, so you will see that in the upcoming videos, okay. So just don't worry about vertical and this kind of new words that we have seen, vertical and horizontal. So you can have something like maybe example, you can have something like this vector maybe u equals to 2, 3, and the other vector is v equals to maybe 1 and 0. So remember that we talked about vectors being presented using small letters. You underline them, but we can also refer to them as component vectors, okay. So we can have something like that, and then vector v, something like that, and then if they say, okay, so you can have something like those vectors in component form, and then the question can be find the sum of vector u and also vector v, okay. So meaning addition, just a matter of adding the two vectors, okay, and then the difference or minus, just a matter of just subtracting the two vectors, okay. That's all you've got to do, okay. There is nothing that is very difficult about vectors. All I want you to understand that know the properties of a vector, that is, it has both direction and also magnitude, okay. So those are the key concepts that I want you to understand, that a vector has got magnitude and also direction, okay. That's all I want you to understand, okay. So under this one you can say this is u 2, 3 that, okay. Then you can have, so this plus what is on top, you add them together. What is at the bottom, you add them together, because this is the horizontal movement, remember, and that is the horizontal movement. So we can put them together, okay. And then this is a vertical movement, and then that is also a vertical movement. So we can put them together, right? Okay. So that is 2 plus that. So we have 3. Okay, so then this is the answer on this kind of vectors. That how we can just add component vectors. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. So I'm going to give you an assessment, or just kind of just test yourself and see if you've understood how we can just add up two vectors. Okay, so you can just do this on your own, and then once you do that, please drop down your comment and how you just came about to find the answer, so that even your friends, your colleagues can be able to learn from you, and we all can learn from someone. Okay, so I give you this one as an assessment. Try to test yourself. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching so much. Please don't forget, remember to subscribe to my channel on YouTube, which is just Radical Academy, and also smash the subscription button, so that whenever I post new content, if you want to see more of this kind of videos, please don't forget to like this video and also follow this channel, so that whenever I upload new content, you'll be the first person to be notified. Okay, and also if you're watching from my Facebook, don't forget to click on the follow button of my Facebook page, which is just Learn with Mike Warrior, and then you'll be able to receive all my new content, all my new videos, and everything just for free. So just stick around, follow all my links, social media, and everything. Okay, and you can get in contact with me, so that if you want something specific for you, I can just release a video just on your demand. Okay, so it's bye bye, and I'll see you in the next video.